Great minds like Thomas Edison and Albert Einstein believe that we are all born with genius. This view, however, has not been very popular, simply because the tools to help every person fulfill their potential didn't exist, but they do now. Hi, I'm author Andy Brown. In this series of videos, I show you how to find your inspiration source and put it to work, and why it's the surest way to have a more successful, a more satisfying, a more joyful life, a better life. And in the second half of this video, I present something so mysterious and wonderful that it will imprint your heart with a yearning for life's greatest treasures. So stay tuned. Where does inspiration come from? And how do we find our inspiration source? In the past, only a few were able to crack the code and enter the ranks of the inspired and successful. Those who didn't have an inspiring teacher or mentor and that special motivation followed a more conventional path, and even as they sped ahead, like a racehorse, they wore blinders. Here's where it gets really interesting. The information revolution has effectively leveled the playing field. We now have access to unlimited information and specifically excellence that can be repurposed to our special needs. And as you'll learn, by aligning this information with our interests and talents, we can make inspiration organic. And when inspiration is organic, it's magical. Not only can we tap into it again and again to ignite our passions and creativity, it also can turn everyday work into play. But before we go looking for inspiration, we have to know what it is. That shouldn't be hard. You think you know it already. Turn on the TV or go online and it's everywhere. Used to sell teeth whitening and sports cars and fantasies. It's hip, it's hot, it's the ultimate media buzzword because it lifts the spirits, right? And if you believe what they've been telling you, you'd be totally wrong. Because the true meaning of inspiration and how to tap into its incredible power has been lost in popular culture. I want to begin with what it is not. The following examples are all missing the one key element that makes true inspiration a force that can change the world. Here's a short list. Inspiration is commonly thought of as superiority, someone or something with a certain advantage that can be held up as an example to influence others. This is what most people mean when they say someone is an inspiration to them, or they have an inspirational idea, like a brilliant or clever idea, which is no bad thing, but that's not what it is. Inspiration is often used to convey a sense of quality and style, that buying or using a product will give you a better life. It's a pretty effective pitch, but that's not what it is. A generalization, just one. Even if we accept that inspirational qualities go into the design and engineering, even advertising, there's absolutely nothing inspirational about using 99.9% of everything you can buy. You'll understand this soon. Other common meanings include encouraging, illuminating, stimulating. It's used interchangeably with admiration, compassion, reverence, respect, awe, all wrong. What about to raise the bar, to restore faith in someone or something, to lend a helping hand? No, just use those words. Then there's inspiring beauty and kindness and goodness and enthusiasm. No. What about role model? No. And as you'll see in a minute, anything passive that involves being a tourist or spectator won't work. When it comes to inspiration, conventional wisdom is a bully because you believe it, and truth in advertising fails the test. So then, what is inspiration? Let's start with simple definitions. Inspiration means to inhale, to infuse life into, to fill with an animating, quickening, or exalting influence. The whisper of a divine or supernatural influence, like a muse. To move the intellect or emotions, a burst of creativity. These are more detailed. An unlimited and self-motivating belief or construct that forms the will to create something new. A catalyst, a dynamic force or idea that produces a persistent and motivating desire to take positive, concerted action. Wow. One more. You've heard it before. Inspiration creates desire, and desire creates energy to do the things we want. I want to repeat that last part. To do the things we want. I find it fascinating that the smallest word in that phrase also has the biggest impact in our lives. I'm speaking about the word do or doing. It's really very simple. Doing is being. The only way to know what you're capable of is by doing. Doing defines the individual, and it's in the act of doing that we determine our own success. Inspiration creates a yearning to do more in life. It fuels the discovery process and makes us work harder for the ideas and ideals we cherish. It helps us create opportunities to reach our potential, and it rewards us with the big, beautiful life we all want. True inspiration makes us take some action, because inspiration and doing are inseparable. Good. Things start to heat up in my next video. In the new short format, we take our first step. Actually, there are 7. And whether it's finding our inspiration source or raising the next generation of creative leaders, this small set of powerful ideas works on children and adults alike. It's like kindergarten for adults, but with university level results. And if you have a little more time, please stay, because I'm going to present the gold standard of inspirational works now. To understand this epic legend is to have all of the tools you need to live a creative and more satisfying life. As a young man, it inspired me to follow my dreams, which I recently wrote a book about. The Legend of the Broken Crown is a tragic and inspirational tale from 17th century Russia about a village elder and his 2 sons who search for a land promised to their village in a shared dream. Folklore surrounding the legend tells us it's a treasure map with 2 treasures. One, the fabled treasure of gold, and the other, which is actually the greater treasure, is found inside each of us. Folklore further claims that the legend will speak directly to the heart of all who seek life's true meaning. I'm going to skip ahead about a quarter of the way and read selected parts. The elder and his sons have already found the treasure of gold, but the brothers fight over it and mortally wound each other. The father, who is the one retelling the story, also is about to die. But I found the promised land, and there begins my end. Listen well, my friend, for though it is too late for good deeds to undo this sorrow, fate gives you my last breath of wisdom's wine to fill your chalice. Ruler of your destiny, or prisoner of your beliefs, a treasure richer than 1,000 dreams waits. No course is charted by landmark or star, though the way is open to all who carry the torch of magic fire come down from the god. Aloft on his mercurial light, on golden wings the spirit flies, over mountains and valleys and fields of dreams, beyond the valley of songs. Your quest begins at summer's end, to follow midday shadows as they wend back in time to a fertile valley, ringed by a humble crown, with jewels born on the sun. Their legend's tale is told by the wind, of a land more beautiful than all the rest, that God caressed with his tears of joy and filled her vessel full. But too much joy made reason drunk, and 2 her sisters turned to boast of her good fortune. And in that endless moment, destiny devised to take her perfect crown and loose his liquor for none to share. Only the essence, the golden seed of his joy remained. So great was his sorrow that he left the valley, now not different from the rest, and vowed never to return until the promise of all that might be was restored. And he placed there for all to see an eternal tree with golden fruit, filled with the bittersweet memories that broke the heart of the lonely one. And he decreed, when the torch of magic fire lights every child's heart, only then will the fruit taste sweet. Legend claims the mountains cried that day, and cry still, where the ancient mother can be heard calling her lover home. Ruler of your destiny, born to wear the crown, make gravity your guide, as all right things must, and go to the source like water and dust. Set your course when the sun is low in the sky. Your destination beckons twice each day, then disappears in the wink of an eye. Where you find the valley of the eternal tree, you stand at heaven's door. But beware this door, for its hinge swings both ways. On one side lies treasure, on the other side truth. Let your heart see what your eyes cannot. And though your journey brings you near, the treasure won't be found before a test of the soul. As two lovers in a starry embrace, you and the treasure must sleep, and sow your seeds in care-filled play, growing seed to tree and flower to fruit, pulling nourishment from dirt and root. Sleep restores the fire, you must wake, or cast your seeds into darkness. Patience will out before you find the key to unlock this prison, where inspiration springs in glory of the smallest things, and truth is harder to hold than set free. Mark these words well, my friend. The treasure waits on the mirror within, where wings belong to everyone. But to find it, you must trust the wind and listen to the keeper of all voices reveal the way to a place you forgot, and still it grows where it should not. Silvered fingers cross and twist, a silhouette points through the mist, and on the rays of first light kiss the promise before the torch grows cold. Born of fire, a part of you will live forever, but without a torch, you are only a shadow, dying to live. The elder actually dies at this point, so this is the end. But I like to think of it as the beginning. To see the entire legend, go to www.thebestshowintownebook.com, then click on excerpts.